nation's commercial capital. This is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reported tonight, Bimbo Oloide.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, African foreign ministers and United Nations officials demand global action against Boko Haram. Federal government considers review of school resumption. A date in September seems likely. Anger in Edo State as students of Ekiadolo College of Education embark on violent protest. And United States President Barack Obama vows to deal with Islamic State after militants released video showing the beheading of American journalist. On business news tonight, Nigeria falls 7 places to 127 in the Global Competitiveness Report for 2014.
And on sports news tonight, World Football Governing Body FIFA gives Nigeria a lifeline of 5 days to resolve crisis rocking the nation's football.
We begin tonight with ongoing global efforts aimed at curbing the activities of Boko Haram in the country. Officials of the United Nations and African foreign ministers at a crucial security meeting in Abuja, Nigeria's capital city, agreed that to effectively end terrorism, the question of sponsorship and funding for the sect should be seen as an important aspect as the fight against terror itself. Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Minister, Ambassador Aminu Wali, told journalists at the end of the meeting that the continuous sporadic attacks by Boko Haram in the northeast needs global attention.
According to Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Aminu Wali, this security meeting of ministers is organized to identify effective strategies and failures in the fight against terrorism in Nigeria. The meeting noted with regrets that in spite of local and international supports to curb terrorism, insurgency still thrives with the abducted schoolgirls in Borno State still in captivity. Delegates here believe more troops should be committed to strengthening border security and track sources of funding for Boko Haram if the war against terror is to be won.
Recalling the commitments undertaken to strengthen the multinational task force, especially to bolster security along the borders, the meeting commended the measures so far taken by the countries concerned to commit troops in this regard and encourage international partners to help establish a headquarters coordinating structure and provide support to this multinational force. The meeting underscored the need to effectively address the sources of funding for and the supply of weapons to Boko Haram. It called for greater cooperation of the international community to assist in tracking these sources with a view to putting an end to these practices and all forms of illegal transfer of arms and ammunition.
While expressing satisfaction with the support from partners in the fight against Boko Haram, the meeting hopes that timely and action-oriented intelligence sharing is necessary in the fight against insurgency.
The meeting therefore called for a redoubling of efforts on the part of all concerned, given the critical importance of intelligence sharing in the fight against terrorism.
It is expected that the outcome of this meeting will provide the needed international support to the Nigerian government in winning the war against terrorism in the country.
The former governor of Borno State, Ali Modu Sharif, has denied sponsoring the Boko Haram group, saying he does not share the sect's ideology. Alhaji Sharif told a news conference in Abuja that he has never associated with any terrorist group in the world and that he's ready to face any panel investigating the group's activities.
I have not associated myself with any terrorists anywhere in the world. I don't have any friend. I don't know them. I did not even met Mohammed Yusuf until he was captured by the military for the first time, when I was invited by then GOC, General Saleh Maina that they have captured Mohammed Yusuf, and we want to see Mohammed Yusuf in the military barrack. Let me state categorically at this point that I do not share the ideology of Boko Haram set, which was against Western education, Western culture, modern science, and anything Western education. From my background, it will be easily seen and I am completely opposed to their own viewpoints. By my nature of bringing, I've neither associated myself nor shared the beliefs of the religious fundamentalism such as Boko Haram. With a sense of modesty, I wish to state that I have been a successful international businessman before joining politics in 1992. I was elected Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria under the National Republican Convention, NRC. Member of the
Meanwhile, less than 24 hours after Chief John Oyegun accused the PDP and its leadership of knowing the sponsors of Boko Haram, the PDP has condemned the APC leader's position, calling it a complete lie and lacking in validity, character, and intellectual content befitting of a national chairman of a political party. The PDP National Publicity Secretary, Olisa Metu, said that Chief Oyegun succeeded in further exposing the desperation of the APC to launder its image through renewed propaganda and blackmail. The Chief of Naval Staff, Rear Admiral Usman Jibrin, has asked international oil companies to support the efforts of the Nigerian Navy in the fight against oil theft, vandalism, and bunkering. In a meeting with international oil giants in Abuja, the naval chief accused oil majors of being accessories to oil theft, as some of them have deliberately left their oil well heads open for years. He warned that henceforth the Navy will begin to arrest any oil major who deliberately contributes to the theft of Nigeria's crude oil. 16. Preparations for the Adamawa governorship election have started, and voters will get their permanent voter cards from Tuesday the 9th to Thursday, September the 11th. The Independent National Electoral Commission today released the plans and said the distribution of the PVCs will take place at the polling unit level, and after the 11th of September 2014, the distribution of PVCs for those who can't get them within the specified period will have to go to the local government area offices of the Commission to get theirs. Eligible voters who registered in 2011 and were given temporary voter cards are to exchange them with the PVCs, which will be used for the governorship election and subsequent elections in 2015. The Adamawa by-election is slated for the 11th of October 2014. 5 years after popular human rights lawyer Gani Fawehinmi passed on, he still hasn't been forgotten, as activists took a remembrance walk for the late social critic who died at the age of 71. Before his death, Gani relentlessly pursued the cause of democracy in the country and also tenaciously sought justice for the murdered journalist Dele Giwa. But he later succumbed to a long-term battle with lung cancer on the 5th of September 2009. Our correspondent, Sheun Okimbaloye, walked with the activists and reports.
This kind of event has recently become a common sight. Singing, protest chants and solidarity march not strange to streets of Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital. This very procession is unlike the usual ones. From the inscriptions on the placards and banners, it is clear this is a celebration of one of Nigeria's greatest, Gani Fawehinmi, human rights activist, a man who some refer to as the best president Nigeria never had, and some simply called him the senior advocate of the masses. As they marched, they sang. At some points, they waited, and the leaders of the group gave pep talks. Music of Afrobeat legend Fela Anikulapo helped to inspire the marchers. The destination is Ojota, having started from Ikeja. It's about 8 kilometers walk, and when they arrived at the popular Gani Fawehinmi Park, it was a moment to reflect on so many national issues.
Gani happened to be an enigma. Gani happened to be a colossus, a man that Nigeria will never forget, a man that stood against corruption, a man that talks about the emancipation of the downtrodden, a man that lived his life for the poor people. Many of the cases Gani handled while he was alive were pro bono, cases of students and those that are downtrodden. So when we come today and we are talking about Gani, we say this is how Nigeria should run.
He has fought for the masses. He left a legacy to emulate. He has told everybody, stand up for your right. Today, he is not alive, but his spirit lives on.
Today, Nigerians took to the streets and they've all gathered here. Very significant, the Gani Fawehinmi Freedom Park in Ojota, Lagos, Nigeria. And they are remembering him for what he stood for as a human right and a man who stood for the voiceless. From Lagos, Seun Okinbaloye reporting for Channels Television News.
In part 2, after the break, INEC and CBN agree to collaborate ahead of 2015 general elections. Do stay with us.